location right there in the middle, and that's because they were not heat treated or stress relieved. So these are competitors' wristbands, definitely not ours. Ours do not break like that. But whenever we heat treat our wristbands, we're adding carbon back into the metal, and that allows it to be stronger. But during that process, the metal is heated to extreme temperatures. So the stress relief part of it is we allow it to cool down slowly. And what that does is it allows the metal to be more flexible and allows it to withstand greater pressure, therefore preventing the breaking in the middle.
Do you find that that changes over time as far as the tensile strength? Will it, over time, will that change with the heating and cooling of the machine?
Yes, so tensile strength over time does decrease, but the heat treated and stress relief allows for it to stay pretty high throughout the years, which is why our wristbands actually last for 7 years if the unit's running 24/7. So if it's not running 24/7, a little bit more, but I know that you said that y'all's pins right now currently last just a couple of years. Perfect. Do you have any other questions before we move on?
I don't think so.
Perfect.
Appreciate it.
So this page right here, on your left, you'll see this picture, and this is a bearing that we use on our wristbands, and this is a competitor's bearing. And the only difference between these bearings actually is the grease that was used on the wristband. So we use EP grease, stands for extra pressure grease, and it allows for the wristband and the bearing to stand up to extreme pressures. And if your unit's running all day, every day, you kind of need that. This one actually, I mean, it looks like it's still in pretty good shape. Can you say I'm wrong?
Oh, no, I think it's great. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, bearings look great.
This one has actually been used for a little under 7 years,
Wow.
and this one was after 2.5 years. Wow. So the difference is that, the metal is different too, but the main difference is the grease, because this one is still intact, this one is not, and that just further proves that ours last a lot longer than the other ones. And
do you know if that pump jack was still going through that entire 7 years, or did it stop off and on? Or
it was running 24/7.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yes, and then if you flip the next page, so this is one of our wristbands. This is kind of what they look like, and this little thing right here in the middle, that circled, is called a void. And this void is unique to our wristbands. Nobody else has them. It's patented, and this allows for our wristbands to compensate for minor irregular measurements of other people's units. So
okay.
Minor imperfections, if the unit has been used for a long time, if it's been worn down, if the measurements are a little bit off. It's not uncommon that sometimes wristbands don't fit in a specific unit just because measurements can be so precise. But this void right here actually allows the small end and large end to fit precisely in it, and it can kind of compensate for those little differences. Still allowing the wristband to work and allowing it to work correctly to therefore prevent damages, but also helping it last longer.
Very good.
Do you have any questions?
I don't think so.
Is this something that you think y'all would be interested in?
Well, so getting back to the relationship piece, I mean, we have a relationship with our current vendor, and I know that I can trust them, so how would you respond to that?
Yes, sir. So we love to create relationships. We've built this company from the ground up. We've been around for 40 years. But one of the other main things that we love to point out is that we have a lifetime guarantee of our wristbands. If our wristband breaks within 7 years, we will replace it, no cost to y'all. If there's ever any problems going on with it, if you think there's any issues with it, we'll come out, take a look, free of charge to y'all. And we just do that because we are so confident in our product, and we also do want to create those relationships because currently we do have quite a few long-standing customers, and we're trying to get more, but that's just something that we love to do. We really value those relationships, especially in the oil industry. They can be hard to come by. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, and you're right. I mean, relationships in the oil field just come and go, I mean, like dust in the wind. So if I have downtime, which would be substantial to production, do you all compensate for that?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Yes, any problems and any costs that are related to a broken wristband and something that was on us, we fully compensate that because we are so confident in our product.
Good.
And this page actually is a hypothetical cost rundown of how much money y'all could potentially be saving using our wristbands. So our units go for $39.50, and a unit comes with 2 sets because each pumping unit needs 2 wristbands to operate. And if you see here, competitors run for around $3,000, $4,000, usually in the middle around $3,400, and they only last about 2.5 years. So within the time span of 10 years, you'd be replacing y'all's currently about 4 times, whereas ours lasts for 7 years, so you'd be replacing it once. So if you see the total cost over here, with the wristbands y'all are currently using, I would assume y'all are spending around $17,000 in replacing wristbands every 10 years. And with ours, it would only be around $8,000, so that's a $9,000 difference just of how much we can decrease y'all's cost just with having high quality wristbands that last a long time.
Okay.
Is this something that y'all are interested in?
Yeah, why don't, let's, give me an order and we'll try them out and we'll see how you do.
Perfect. We recommend just starting with one set, $39.50. That way we can make sure that you like the product, get your hands on it, feel it out, and then from there, you have the contacts and we can set up more orders in the future as y'all need more wristbands.
Perfect.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.